Hello, my name is Rishita Rokariya, and I'm a first-year student at UNC Charlotte in the Levine Scholars Program. The research that I will be presenting to you all today is centered around the topic of slum redevelopment in Mumbai, India. This research is at the initial exploratory stage, and what I'm going to present to you today is my preliminary data gathering. My goal with this presentation is to spark more interest and discussion surrounding this issue of slum redevelopment in Mumbai. The research question I will investigate is, how does the rapid increase of urbanization in Mumbai's slums lead to a loss of sense of community and economic interdependence? And how can local perspectives be integrated into decision making? This question will be analyzed through the perspective of community and economic interdependence, and I will also explore the need for more nuanced human-centered solutions. To explore the topic of sustainable development, it is imperative that we look at some prior research done by other researchers. Turning our focus to two prior pieces of research that could be valuable to this topic, the first comes from Dr. Mahesti Ogatasari in her paper, Socioeconomic Drivers of Community Acceptance of Sustainable Social Housing. Ogatasari defines sustainable development as that which is, quote, highly interlinked with the concept of life, well-being, and livability. Another researcher, Subhajyoti Samadar, agrees with Ogatasari's perspective in this paper. Samadar emphasizes the need for taking into account the voices of the slum dwellers. Samadar mentions that, quote, ensuring community livelihood, security, and true involvement of marginalized groups, preparing an action plan, and incorporating fun and cultural connotations into the facilitation process are critical components. And now let's talk about development. What is development and what is community? Development is a nonlinear process that incorporates many factors. Dr. Nguyen Minh Ha of Ho Chi Minh City University calls the relationship between urbanization and economic growth a nonlinear relationship that will depend on the establishment of favorable institutions and investments in appropriate public infrastructure. The issue, however, is that slums do not favor such infrastructure due to the lifestyles of people living there, so redeveloping them can lead to multiple issues. Considering community, what is community? Community is a fundamental human need. The current layout of these slums allows interconnectivity within the slum dwellers. However, with redevelopment, the people who live in these slums may not be able to experience that same level of social interaction. According to Dr. John Nijman in his research paper, India's Urban Future, Views from the Slum, for the slum dwellers, quote, venturing outside their community and its territorial confines is often accompanied with apprehension, stress, and feelings of insecurity. And now let's transition to my first point, which is community, and how redevelopment of these slums can affect the sense of community prevalent in these areas. By redeveloping many of these slums, there will be a grave loss of community spirit and connectivity that fosters human connection in these slums. I want to delve into one specific slum, Dharavi. Dharavi, known as Asia's largest slum and the inspiration for the movie Slumdog Millionaire, is so much more than that. It is home to a diverse group of people coming from Western India, states like Gujarat, to Southern India, states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, and even Northern India, including states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, and so many more. People living here come from all religions, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, and Buddhists, with temples, mosques, and churches located just within yards of each other. In total, Dharavi makes up 30 different languages and 6 different religions, all within a 2-kilometer radius. But what happens when this interwoven, culturally rich community is relocated into a more compartmentalized housing system? The community spirit is lost. To understand this issue better, let's take a look at some of the provisions set in place for relocation of the slum dwellers. The first provision is that people will not only be relocated from their houses, some will be removed from slums altogether, such as is the case in Dharavi. Those who came between 2000 and 2011 will be relocated to the Mumbai metropolitan region. This relocation would force them to lose contact with the friends and family that they've formed along the years. For those who came after 2011, they will have to pay rent. Doing this can change the dynamics within the community and spew animosity and inequality in a community which was once very united and diverse. In this way, the slums may potentially lose their cultural identity and intersectionality. Transitioning into my second point, I would like to talk about the loss of vital industries that redevelopment can cause. The slums of Mumbai are known for their vibrant economies and economic interdependence. Major industries include tourism, pottery, recycling, and leatherworks. As researcher Jim Yardley describes in his paper, the slums are, quote, a great urban rainforest covered by a canopy of smoke and sheet metal. These major industries will go out of business if the slum dwellers are moved to more smaller living units, as is the case with redevelopment. Doing so will negatively impact the lives of these slum dwellers by placing their means of earning at threat. Additionally, the goods generated from these slums benefit India as a whole. According to the Economic Times, goods coming out of slums like Dharavi make up over 7.5% of India's GDP, which equates to about 139 billion US dollars. Additionally, more than 80% of Mumbai's waste is recycled in Dharavi, and the picture on this slide is a glimpse into a few workers laboring in the recycling workshops. The recycling industry alone generates about 60 million US dollars. The tourism industry is another often overlooked industry in the slums of Dharavi and Mumbai. Many visitors who are looking for a more authentic exploration of Mumbai and want to get a glimpse into the lifestyles of these slum dwellers can visit these slums through various agencies that arrange such tours. As one agency, the Mumbai Magic, points out, quote, this is not a poverty tour, it is a peek into an area bustling with activity, with an economy estimated to be worth more than 500 million US dollars. However, once these slums are redeveloped, major parts of what makes this bustling economy so successful will be lost. Transitioning into my third point, considering the issues of loss of community and loss of vital industries, I can conclude that a more human-centered, nuanced solution would be ideal to approach the issue of slum redevelopment in Mumbai. When considering the issue for redevelopment, it is important to understand why redevelopment is necessary in the Mumbai slums in the first place. These slums are infested with many communicable diseases like tuberculosis, malaria, meningitis, and dysentery. There is a significant shortage of clean water, inadequate sanitation, and an unstable electricity supply. The question then becomes, how do we balance these basic human needs without compromising the rich culture and diversity of the slums and preserving the economy of the area? As Ranji, a slum dweller who works in pottery, told Swarajya magazine, quote, they should begin the work and also meet us to do something for our betterment. This highlights that while slum dwellers are open to improving their living conditions, they seek assurance that their livelihoods will be protected in the process. Therefore, it is crucial to find a way to redevelop that still preserves the human connectivity and rich culture of these slums while also ensuring basic human needs are met. For this, more research and investigation into the topic is imperative. Here, I would like to present a proposed solution by research Savar Suri, an architecture professor at Sushant University. It is important to notice how community engagement and taking the opinions of slum dwellers into consideration is an important component of these proposed redevelopment steps. Another important aspect of this proposed plan is the creation of institutions for the maintenance of the people and communities post-redevelopment. If this is executed correctly, it will foster more peace and organization within the community. Suri also emphasizes the need for meeting the land and housing needs of the slum dwellers. This is where solutions for ensuring the economy still thrives post-redevelopment can be made. This plan also echoes the ideas of Dr. Samadar, whose work was mentioned earlier in this presentation. I would like to end by pointing out another piece of research by Suri in which he mentions, quote, redevelopment combined with consideration and concern could possibly mean the end of slums in India. Striving for a better future should be the goal. One of the key takeaways from my research is the pressing need for further investigation and exploration into this topic. In conclusion, redevelopment plans for Mumbai's slums should emphasize preserving the economic interdependence and local industries that support these communities, along with the robust social networks among residents. A thoughtful, human-centered approach is essential for uplifting and transforming these areas. These are my references. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.